So why do you think people, we say that we're a society that wants better than what we already have, in the sense that so much can be done in the city, but yet it hasn't been done, but yet certain areas of the city get things done and others don't. And why do you think that is?
I think because the city has priorities of the neighborhoods that they want to see flourish and people who they want to see flourish, and that usually just goes back to funders and sponsors and wealthy people. People who are paying rent don't really have as much say in the neighborhood as people who are homeowners, so they push all the people who are renters out, so that only the homeowners have a say.
But the irony of all that is that there are more renters in the city of Toronto than there are homeowners. And what I mean by that is the renters are the majority of people who have access to vote.
Well, when you vote, you're still voting for the establishment candidates. And the establishment
Why? Why are people voting for the establishment candidates when they know better? That history has told us and demonstrated to us that this is not turning out to benefit all of society. So why do people get sucked into voting for the establishment candidates?
I think it's also a flaw in how our democracy works, because we say that we have a democracy, but then people like you don't even get invited to the table. So the people who we see as front runners and the people who we feel are going to have the best chance to overtake the establishment candidates who are more progressive, those are the ones who are funded by the same establishments that are profiting off of our losses, and we don't really have fair voices at the table to even be able to know who's there and what's going on.
So what's going to make a difference for this election?
I think we need to overhaul the electoral system and get a proportional representation type of voting system, so that everybody who wants to run can have a voice, an equal voice, and society can be able to make their own informed decisions without having an establishment put forward 2 or 3 candidates that they want to see us funnel our votes to.
Well, I certainly believe in proportional representation and also electoral reform. The thing is, in this election, unless I'm elected, we'll never get to that.
Right.
And so what would you say to the listening voter out there about this upcoming October 2018 election, if they want to see better for our city?
I definitely think that we have to take the time to educate ourselves, not only for who's running for mayor, but also who's running for city council, who's also running for city council in our different wards. We need to know the pros and cons, what they've been doing, if they have been part of the establishment trying to push us out, not taking care of renting rights. And we need to educate ourselves on who's running, and also be part of the push to get every voice to the table.
Yes. And right now there are some people who identify themselves as being progressive, but they're not really interested in that from the mayoral perspective. They're still pushing the establishment. And this, in my opinion, is the continuum of the problems that we face when so-called progressive people push the establishment continually, when those people who are part of the establishment have never really been part of the struggle. And unless you've been part of the struggle, you're never going to see need or recognize need or identify needs that need to be addressed, and thus will continue to perpetuate the same problems we've continually perpetuated for thus far, and that is to just do the same old every single time.
Right. I could have said it better myself.
Thank you so much for your kind words and your insights and all that you've said on this ride.